Madden Football brings you the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Bears and the Commanders on Sunday night.
For my money, it's the best time of the year, playoff football time, as postseason action descends upon FedEx Field just outside of D.C. Ahead will decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the Chicago Bears and the Washington Commanders. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
The fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round. We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
All in all, he was pretty solid in the victory in the wild card round and threw a couple of touchdowns. And when it comes to quarterback play, you'd always love spectacular. But in the playoffs, you'll take solid. And that's exactly what they're looking for.
Fields passing on the first play from scrimmage. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. How about the defense there trying to set the tone on the very first play of the game?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glow here tonight because they brought the heat right out of the gate. What a good job establishing a tone for this one.
So a tough early challenge here, second and long after the sack. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Well, certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him. What a great job getting pressure here on the first drive. 3 plays and already 2 sacks.
And that pressure has been intense right from the beginning. And I'm telling you, if they don't make an adjustment in play calling and protection, it'll go from intense to relentless.
Here comes the Bears punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Returnable here from the 38. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. So here's Washington now in excellent field position to start things out. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And he and his team, they were the beneficiaries of a first-round bye earned by a tremendous regular season. He'd been a little bit nicked up, so he could use the rest and I'm sure his teammates felt the exact same way. But now it'll be interesting to watch their first few drives in this one, because sometimes getting the rest is great, but sometimes you accumulate a little bit of rust as well. Maybe they come out flat, and they can't afford that in the postseason.
2nd and 5. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Robinson will try to pick it up.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Off the option, he'll try and run with it.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Second down and a run by Robinson.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
On 3rd down, Robinson.
And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
Back to throw here.
Open man, wham, it's complete. And this is going to wind up working out just fine as he'll have a Washington first down. And an exhale there as they convert on 4th.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
4 yards remain on 2nd down, ball on the 10.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. They'll look to throw again.
Fighting Hilton on the slant. And the Commanders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. Nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
Robinson.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup.
Robinson again. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders are on the board first here in this division round matchup. So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. That one in the books as a 12-play drive.
And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Onto the field now come the Bears.
And for them, maybe a little carryover from last week's game. They got the win on the road in the wild card round, on the road here again in the divisional round, but they're hanging tough.
Hey, cue a little music, right? A little on the road again. I mean, this has been kind of the mantra they're under right now, and they can't change it. The season dictated what would happen with them, right? They had to go on the road for the first round for the playoff. They're on the road again, and sometimes teams get really comfortable with that. Not only the idea of going on the road and shocking the world, but just, hey, it's just us. We don't have to worry about outside distractions. It's just us. Let's go play.
It becomes that us against the world mentality, doesn't it?
And while it may be overplayed, in the media, it's real when it comes time to play ball.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Fields.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted.
Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
Oh, I think there was a little too much heat on that one. He's trying to hit his running back out of the backfield. Normally you want to get the ball to them in stride. But here, this one's coming in hot. And it tips off his hands and into the arms of the defender.
Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. At issue here, does the football make contact with the ground and before he secured it? And I think some of these angles are going to give us a pretty good look.
Secured is the important part because the ball can touch the ground, but it can't be loose when it does. So that's what they're going to have to try and figure out.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, and it's good for a 1st down as well. Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down. And he delivers a strike complete to Watkins. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Robinson going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington.
Chase Claypool.
A 5-yard touchdown.
And the Commanders are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And it was finished off by the Chase Claypool touchdown catch.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Chicago offense set to get started. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Now on 2nd and 13. Fields.
All the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. But just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were out instantly.
Now, as we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt.
And it's fielded at the 34. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
It's a 1st down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down. And he's got it down to the 28.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Looking to throw.
Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 17-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10.
Back to throw.
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown.
From 10 yards out.
And the Commanders continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Well, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although Like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 21-0. So that lines up a 7-play drive all told. And the result, a touchdown for Washington.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 20-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. $21-0 our score after one. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
On 1st down, Fields.
To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff running through the middle. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. From the 38, Fields. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
Facing this big first half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. They snap it to Fields.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he is going to have the Bears 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on 4th.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a 1st down on the keeper.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
2nd and 6 from the 10.
Now a handoff looking right. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields.
Touchdown, Bears!
Ethan Carter.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Bears are able to cut into that deficit. That seemed like a much-needed touchdown after 21 unanswered points to start the game.
It's not often that you equate a football game to a golf tournament, but it's like you don't want to shoot yourself out of the tournament too early. So they needed that touchdown to make sure that they got an opportunity to not just get back into this game, but a chance to win it later if they continue to play well.
Extra point up and through, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Takes it at the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out is their quarterback with this offense to take over once more. He's thrown touchdown passes on his last 2 drives as he begins here, 1st and 10.
They begin the drive with Robinson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll set up to throw.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Left side to Lamb.
And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. That'll give him 8 that time. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body.
Picked up by Jamin Davis, and the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. The tough spot is the spot that they're in. That's inside the 5 in the shadow of their own goalpost here. 1st and 10.
And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
That defense just did not budge, and now your punter. Well, this is why you pay him.
It is. It's exactly why you pay him. But what he's got to be thinking about are a couple of things. Number one, don't step back. Could be a safety. Number two, cut down your time on your mechanics. If you're a two-step punter, it needs to be one step and get rid of the football.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Taking on the midfield logo.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Robinson up the middle to the 36-yard line. Stop there.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They're going to look to throw. He's got, and now a fumble. The ball's out, and this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this,
it is cold.
And it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack.
He'll take this to the 46.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll go option to the short side. And he's going to be met at about the 43.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. From the gun on 3rd down, Fields.
He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
Here's Matt Ariza now.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20.
The Washington offense back out there.
And last time, the fumble to turnover. Now, they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered, they've had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
The Bears now ready to take over again. And they'll start with great field position, trying to get back into this one. It's 1st and 10 here. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Throw left side, taken in by Pittman. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Fields.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. On second down, they'll run it here. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position, now facing third down.
Oh, Fields is intercepted for a third time. And the Commanders are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Back onto the field now, the Commanders offense. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
They'll start by running the option to the right.
And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there.
Second and 6. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down and a 21-yard gain.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here's Gibson on the read option.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
A huge play there for Washington, and even 40 yards.
I don't think anyone would argue that having that extra week definitely helps come playoff time. And those were some fresh legs right there. That extra practice time and planning, certainly in evidence.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Forced out to his left.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that first down run.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Back to throw now on first down. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch.
Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts,
as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's a 2nd and 7. Over the middle, complete. It's Watkins.
And the Commanders are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Boy, this is a well-orchestrated drive they've put together. You think back to how far they were backed up to start things out, but they've gone on a march since then, and now after that completion there, they've got a 1st and goal.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. CeeDee Lamb
from 4 yards out.
And the Commanders go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
on the try here for the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all.
And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
But the Bears going to take over now late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Fields now to throw.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Here's Fields.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked them off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got Watkins on the out route.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's NFC Divisional Round game. And it's the Detroit Lions who will fight another week as they were able to eliminate the New Orleans Saints. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Bears. And they did have some success running the football in those first 2 quarters. And that might be something they continue to work on as they try to get back in this game. Meanwhile, for Washington, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the 3rd quarter.
And they have made this look easy. There's not supposed to be anything easy about the NFL playoffs, but this lead, yes, they're at home, but this has been impressive.
And we hear all the time when upsets happen, teams go on the road, that maybe home field advantage isn't all it's cracked up to be. But you and I both know the reality is teams really fight hard to get it. Why? You don't ever have to change routine. Everything's familiar going into the game. It makes things easier, and that has paid off for them in a big way in this contest.
2nd and 4.
Open man completes it to Claypool. On the move past the 40, down the right sideline. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And we do talk a lot about how the tight end position has changed in the NFL. Here's a great example. It used to be that they were linemen who occasionally caught passes. Now they're wide receivers who occasionally block people. And right here, this isn't tight end speed. It's definitely wide receiver speed.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr.
with his second touchdown of the night.
And the Commanders take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. With that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll set up a throw.
Throws the out route and finds Claypool.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
On the give, here's Robinson. 50 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Robinson with another carry.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Handoff now to Robinson. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
He'll look to throw. Complete to Hilton.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll run with Robinson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr.
saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game.
And the Commanders extend their lead yet again.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Now the try here for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive, 12 plays in length.
And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this.
And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. They'll run here with Robinson. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is incomplete. Looking to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And the Commanders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Now back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington.
Chase Claypool.
A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Commanders get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Well, familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
The Bears offense ready to get going again. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Quay Walker, and the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
The Commanders' offense set to take over. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the 3rd quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They'll look to throw here.
Right side, Claypool's got it.
Call it a gain of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Partner, it took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Here's Fields. Fields hit, and the ball is loose. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score.
So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Graham, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25.
The Chicago offense set to get started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback...
And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers, and he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success. As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
He takes this for 3 to the 29. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And
there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded at about the 28. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
Back now at FedEx Field. A good gain on first. Has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
They'll let the QB keep it here off the option.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That one will go for 9 yards and a 1st down on the keeper.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th.
And he'll work down inside the 45.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run again here with Robinson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
83 yards rushing for him now in the ball game as he is trying to will his guys to the championship round next weekend.
I know we're in the era of wide open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now with Robinson.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington 1st down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Here's Robinson.
And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Second down and a run by Robinson.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they've had that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again.
Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Back to throw, Fields.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
To throw again on 2nd down. Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
Part of my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And he'll find Pittman.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields.
And that is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
From the gun, here's Fields.
Gets this one to Morris.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Again, Fields.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Jamin Davis. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 41. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
Out of his hands quickly to CeeDee Lamb. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. The one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
They'll run this one right with Robinson. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Again, it's Robinson. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
The offense on 3rd down today, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 4.
He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like, that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They run. Robinson.
And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. 2nd straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. On 3rd down, Robinson.
And some space here.
And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Now, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Chicago offense set to get started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing on third down, Fields.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up fourth down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at the 18. Oh, able to avoid him. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Washington ready to try again on offense. And it would appear that that first round bye certainly helped. They've looked fresh from the start and no letdown here as they lead big in this divisional round and they look to book a spot in the conference championship. They'll take it past the 40 to the 41, second down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On the run, it's Robinson.
And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So it's Commanders football as we get back to it.
They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
Open man Lamb, it's complete. He's got room at the 30.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on third and medium to pick up the first.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Robinson on a give right side.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.